I often heard about, like, whenever I heard stories from my mom or from my grandmom, that so people, or they even write these in like children's storybooks, like people did very grand tapasyas and rigorous, I don't know, what's the exact term, like praying to God maybe. And they went on to mountain tops, and it snowed and it rained, and the sun was out, and they just kept standing on one leg. And then maybe finally, after some time, God appears, he grants them wishes, or she grants them wishes, and they move on with their life with whatever boons that they've got. Can it be done now also? If yes, why? And if not, why?
So it's an interesting question, Ripu. I feel, first and foremost, the difference is that, in the earlier yugas, people are supposed to have a longer lifespan, right? So they're supposed to have lived for hundreds of years, at least, if not thousands of years. So it was possible to do such a long penance, a long tapasya, and it was possible for them to achieve something out of it, get something out of it at the end of it. Unfortunately for us, the lifespans are much shorter. So it may not be practically possible. And that is why, the rules for each yuga change. So I think, as I mentioned in one of the podcasts earlier, that, in the Satyug, it was this tapasya, which was supposed to bring you to God. In Treta, it was yajnas. So at the time of the Ramayana, it was the yajnas, grand yajnas that were done to connect with God. You hear of the stories when, a yajna was performed and either Agni Dev appears from it, or some divine being appears from the fire and, blesses the people, the yajmans who are performing the yajna.
तो अश्वमेध हुआ, राजसूय यज्ञ हुआ, तो ये सारे जो ग्रैंड यज्ञस होते थे, रिचुअल्स होते थे, उनके थ्रू you could attain God.
In Dwapar, it was temple worship. At the time of Mahabharata, people attained God mostly through temple worship.
सुभद्रा जाती है मंदिर पूजा करने, रुक्मणी जाती है मंदिर पूजा करने. So temple worship is the prominent form to reach God.
Where it is in the scriptures, it is mentioned that in Kali Yuga, it is just taking the name of God that can help you. The devotion or bhakti. You don't really need to spend thousands of years in rigorous tapasya, or you don't really need to do grand yajnas. It's only taking the name of the Lord that can take you there. And we have examples of, saints and various sages, even in the Kali Yuga. You have example of Mirabai. It's believed that she merged into the idol, of Krishna at the end of her life. And, there are other examples, of such saints achieving salvation, in a similar manner. So I don't think it would be practically possible for us to repeat what the rishis did. One, because they had a longer lifespans, and secondly, it is not required, because for us, we have been given that liberty and we have been given that opportunity to achieve, or at least attain God or achieve salvation, through a simpler way of doing, because our intellects are smaller, our lifespans are smaller, and God, being merciful, has allowed, different rules for different yugas. And for us, it's an easier proposition. It's just that we're not doing it.
We've become like as lazy as someone could be. Now God has said you don't need to get on a mountain top and pray for me for hundreds of years. I'll do what you want, man. Just could you just be mindful of what you're living right now?